In this video, we're going to explain how to fit our universal flat slide cable caddy unit. Once you've unpacked it, you'll see it consists of a single long chain and two mounting brackets. The larger bracket is where you start from, bracket A. We've picked a very common brand fridge slide. This one's 700 millimeters long, which means the tray itself extends 700 millimeters out. That's about the smallest length that the universal cable caddy will fit. It will go up to 1,000 mil long slides. So if your tray comes out 1,000, we've given you a little bit of leeway. So if it's a little bit longer than 1,000, that's not an issue. It'll accommodate for those larger slides. We've also provided hardware in the fitting kit that allows you to fit it to slides of this size, which are medium duty, generally 100 or 90 kilo rating. It will also have hardware to fit the 250 or 247 kilo rated slides, which are simply just a bit thicker. That is exactly the same process as the fitting of the smaller slide assembly. First step is to remove a side bolt. This is going to locate your first bracket, bracket A, on the side of your fridge slide. They are designed for passenger side only, which is the left-hand side of your fridge slide. So once you remove that bolt, you can then pre-drill a hole in the side plate. Most fridge slide manufacturers do use a bolt. You can see you've got two spots in the center there. One bolt hole has a hole all the way through, so you remove that. And then you can line up our bracket A over that hole and simply drill from the other side through the existing hole, through the ACM panel of our cable caddy. See, that's come all the way through, and simply replace the existing bolt with our supplied longer bolt. For the small slide, it's generally an M5. For the larger slides, an M6 or an M8 bolt, which are in our kit as standard. See our longer bolt going through the side panel of the cable caddy. Pop one of the supplied washers on there, nylock nut back in place, and tighten that up. If you over tighten it, it will bend that plate. It's purely to hold the panel in place. You can see there with that bolt tightened up. We've lined that flush with the back of this particular fridge slide. That is not crucial. You can pick a spot if you need it to be a bit further forward to clear something at the back end of your slide in your particular fitting application. That is not a problem. You've got plenty of chain leeway to do that. You can move it forward or backwards 50 to 100 mil. And that bracket is nice and tight, all bolted through from that side. If you feel the need, the second hole, which is in most slides, you can drill that one through and use the second bolt that we've supplied in there as well, just for a little bit of surety. Again, not necessary, but if you feel the need, you can do that by simply drilling through. The next stage, which is mounting the plug end of the cable caddy to the sliding tray. This will vary from model to model. Most trays do have bolts holding it to the slide, which you can utilise with our bracket B. Now the bracket B's got some preset holes. These may need opening up or made bigger if it doesn't match exactly where your holes are placed. Again, that varies from manufacturer to manufacturer, but in this case we're going to use the bolt that's on the inside of the tray to bolt to either the first or the second hole of our bracket, and simply accessing it when the slide is in its fully open position through the side here, using an Allen key and a spanner on the other side to take that bolt out. So you can see we've popped our bolt through, which is slightly longer to accommodate the extra thickness of our plate. That will then show through the other side of our cable caddy, which you can then put washer and the nylock nut back on there, holding the bracket in place by tightening that up, and that is your installation done. Now having a look at the other side, you can see that plate is secured by a single bolt. There is no need to use any other bolts. The plate can't go anywhere, it can't pivot. Nice and secure, and really there's no load on that plate. It simply holds the chain in place. You can see the other end is terminated into a fly lead, which if your fridge is Anderson compatible, you can plug it straight in. Or you can see on our other video, which shows you how to convert your fridge cable into an Anderson connection, which will then plug into both ends of our cable caddy and allow you to power one end up and plug the other end into your fridge, and then retain the cable for use later on. Just an additional note, if your fridge slide or the manufacturer of your fridge slide doesn't have access to these bolts, there's a couple of different ways you can secure this bracket. In our kit, we do supply angle brackets, which do attach to the existing holes. You can then go through the base of the tray, making sure you've got clearance for any nuts and bolts underneath. That is a very common way to mount them if you don't have access to these side bolts. The other way to do it is some fridge slide manufacturers have a very high lip on the side, which clears the runner. You can simply bolt our bracket through the lip on the side of the tray with the bolts supplied in our kit. If you do have any trouble whatsoever, please give us a call, 1300 300 450. We'll be glad to help.